Have you ever wondered why you still lack money, even though you've done everything right like they said? You've worked hard. You've been persistent. You've chased your dreams. You've followed the advice. Wake up early, work hard, save, invest. And yet the result is still not enough. And something inside you starts to wonder, is there something I haven't been told? Has someone been hiding a truth from me? Don't rush to blame yourself. And don't think you're the only one who feels this way, because there is a secret that's been kept for a very long time. Not to protect you, but to keep you in your place. Work, earn, spend, and start all over again. This video isn't here to show you how to get rich quick. It's not a dose of fake motivation to make you push harder. It's an invitation to come back, to look deeper within, and to remember something you should have known all along. Since you were little, you were taught, want money? Work hard. Want a good life? Work harder. Want to be rich? Study well, pass exams, get a stable job. But no one told you this. Money doesn't come because you work more. Money comes because you emit a matching frequency. Society doesn't teach you how to become abundant. It teaches you how to be a functioning cog in the system. Work more, spend again, with no time to pause and ask, what am I really living for? Are these beliefs even mine? The biggest trap isn't financial, it's mental. Because when you're programmed to believe, I have to work even harder to be worthy. People with money are bad. Be realistic, stop dreaming. Then you'll always be in a state of chasing but never arriving. And here's the scariest part. You don't even know you're in a trap. You think it's just life, when in fact it's a program that was installed in you since childhood. But you can stop right now and begin with one powerful question. Who programmed my mind about money? And can I choose differently? Do you know why no one ever taught you how to be truly wealthy? Because if you became financially free, you'd no longer be controlled. A person who feels abundant does not live in fear. A prosperous soul doesn't bow down. Someone who understands the energy of money no longer depends on the system. They don't want you to know that. Money is energy, not a reward. Money flows from clarity, not force. Money comes to those who become, not those who ask for permission. Instead, you were taught, be obedient, don't question things, don't stray from the path already drawn, and believe that if you work hard enough, maybe you'll be okay. They didn't hide the truth because you weren't ready. They hid it because if too many people wake up, the whole system loses its grip. They fear one thing above all, that you remember who you really are. You are not someone who asks for money. You are the one who creates the flow. You are the source. And once you realize that, no one can ever take your inner power away again. Did you know 95% of the financial decisions you make each day don't come from your conscious mind, but from your subconscious? The subconscious is like a hidden operating system. You can't see it, but it runs every program in your life. And if that system is built on beliefs like, money is hard to earn, I'm not good enough to be wealthy, money will make me lose myself, then no matter how many books you read, no matter how many courses you take, you'll always end up in the same place. It's like driving a car, while the system inside keeps turning the wheel back to the old path. You think you're choosing, but in reality, you're just repeating. You invest, then pull out right before the breakthrough. You receive money, then spend it all and don't know why. You want to change, but deep down, you fear losing your safety. That's because the subconscious always chooses what's familiar, not what's right. And until you rewrite that operating system, you'll keep living the same life, just in different situations. But here's the best part. You can rewrite it. You can update it. You can change the old programming and begin to emit a completely new financial frequency. People often think the rich are different from the poor because of how much money they have in their bank accounts. That's wrong. The rich are different because of how they think long before they ever have money. The wealthy don't act from fear. Don't make decisions from a place of lack. Don't work just to make money, they work to expand their value. And the poor? It's not because they don't try, but because they do everything from a mindset of, I don't have enough. They search for opportunities with anxiety. They hold money with the feeling of, I'll lose it. They move through life in insecurity, believing that if they don't make money today, they won't survive tomorrow. The vibrational frequency between the two is completely different. And since money is energy, it responds exactly to the frequency you're emitting. Two people can do the same thing, but the one acting from abundance attracts trust, growth, connection. The other continues to hustle, struggle, and chase without rest. Wealth doesn't come after. It's something you must become first. Only then does money show up as a natural consequence. This isn't motivation. This is a simple truth. Money doesn't judge. It responds to frequency. Have you ever stopped and asked yourself, what beliefs am I operating from? Not the ones you say out loud, but the ones quietly buried deep in your subconscious, silently shaping every financial decision you make. Take a moment. Have you ever heard or still believe things like, money is the root of all evil? Rich people are usually not good. I don't deserve to have a lot of money. If I have too much money, I'll lose myself. Money comes and goes. You can't hold on to it. As long as I have enough to get by, I'm okay. These phrases may seem harmless, but when they become default programs, you'll unconsciously hold yourself back even when you think you're moving forward. You'll reject big opportunities. You'll sabotage yourself when money starts coming in. You'll feel guilty if you make more than your loved ones. You'll spend it all just to return to the familiar state of having nothing. Lack doesn't live in your wallet. It lives in the old recordings that haven't been erased. And you can't program a new life if your inner system is still running on outdated software. During your 12 years of schooling, you were taught formulas in math, chemistry, literature, but no one ever taught you about your relationship with money. No one ever said, money is energy, and it only flows toward clarity, confidence, and inner abundance. You think money is just a number? A material object? An asset? You're not wrong, but it's not the full picture. Money is a reflection of you, a reflection of how much you trust yourself, a reflection of how you see the world through fear or through opportunity, a reflection of the vibrational frequency you're living in every single day. Some people work less, yet money keeps coming. Some work nonstop and still can't hold on to a dime. Why? Because money doesn't reward effort. Money rewards the energy you radiate. Money feels you. It doesn't come to the anxious, the rushed, the forceful. It finds its way to those with space, gratitude, and a genuine desire to give value. School never taught you this, but life will gently or painfully. Now, you have the choice to relearn, not through lectures, but through awareness. He used to live in debt, every month scrambling just to pay the bills. Not because he was lazy. He worked 12 hours a day, but always felt like it wasn't enough. Then one day, when he was too exhausted to push any harder, he decided to stop trying to earn more. He started changing from the inside. Each morning he wrote on paper, I no longer live in scarcity. Money comes to me like a friend, not a stranger. I am worthy of creating value and receiving fair return. Nothing changed overnight, but after just a few weeks, he began to feel different. He became calmer when speaking with clients. He stopped taking on underpaid work. He began saying no to what drained him and yes to what expanded him. 3 months later, his income had doubled, even though he worked less. 6 months later, he pivoted to a new path aligned with his true energy. 1 year later, he was teaching others the very thing he'd learned. The miracle didn't come from the outside. It happened the moment he chose to believe something new. I don't need to grind to be wealthy. I just need to return to myself and let prosperity flow from there. You can begin the same way. You don't need another degree. You don't need more capital. You just need one decision. I choose to believe differently. I choose to become someone new. You don't need to change your whole life overnight. You just need to reset your money operating system from the inside out. Here are 3 simple rituals you can begin today. CAD 1. Write down financial affirmations every morning. Each morning, handwrite these 3 sentences. I am safe having money. Money flows to me because I create real value. I am where prosperity energy flows. You don't need to say them out loud. You don't need to feel them strongly. Just be consistent. You're planting new seeds, and they need daily care to grow. PDO 2. Observe your emotions when spending money. Whenever you open your wallet, transfer funds, or make a payment, don't do it on autopilot. Pause for 3 seconds and ask, what energy am I spending from? Scarcity or abundance? Then gently whisper to yourself, I'm grateful I can pay for this with ease. Just one sentence enough to shift the vibration of the entire transaction. Create 3. Create a moment of stillness, 5 minutes a day, no sound, no phone, no goal, just you, sitting with yourself, hand over your heart, gently reminding, I don't need to search, I already am. You don't need to wait for the right conditions to begin. When you begin, the right conditions will appear. This isn't magic. It's energy responding to who you are becoming. You don't need to wait for anyone's approval. You don't need permission to begin living a life of abundance. Not from your parents, not from your friends, not from anyone who needs to believe in you first. Because abundance isn't something you go out and find. It's something you activate from within. True success doesn't begin when you have more. It begins the moment you stand up, look yourself in the mirror, and say, I no longer ask for permission to live as my true self. I was made to prosper. And I don't need to justify that. You don't need to become a more likable, acceptable, or easier to digest version of yourself to be worthy of wealth. You only need to be honest about your true energy. From the moment you stop asking for permission, the flow begins. Because energy doesn't respond to explanations. It responds to the frequency you're living in, up to this very moment. Your life is a story told based on what you believe to be true. Maybe you once told yourself you were a victim. Someone who always lacked. Someone born without luck. Someone who's just not good with money. But if today you were handed the pen again, could you write something different? You could write, I used to be ruled by old beliefs, but now I am awake. I no longer live in the programming of lack or excess. I live in the flow of true value. No one is holding you back except you. No one is forcing you to retell the old story unless you still believe it's the only one. So the real question is, are you ready to tell a new story? One where you are the creator, not just the survivor? If the answer is yes, start with a blank page and write the first line. I am the place where money wants to return. They didn't hide it from you because you were unworthy. They hid it because if you remembered who you truly are, you could no longer be controlled. You would stop chasing someone else's formula. Stop trying to be the good person just to be accepted. Stop using money as a mask to cover your fear of not being enough. Because you'd know, money doesn't come from action. Money comes from your state of being. You don't need to be worthy to be wealthy. You've always been worthy from the very moment you showed up in this life. The biggest secret isn't out there. It's within you, and it's always been there. You simply forgot, and they feared you'd remember. But today, you've started to remember. And once you do, you'll never live the same again. If you feel that soft awakening rising within you, leave this comment under the video. I don't chase money. I become money. And don't forget, come back here whenever you forget who you are. I'll be here to remind you.